All right, Abby, we are live and I'm coughing. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Sophie. Hi, everyone.
Okay, that is the second last call before January, right? Because we're having a call today, a call next Monday, and then we are taking a break.
Yes, that's right.
And we don't know how long the break will be.
That's also correct. That is also correct. We will update you, but we don't know yet.
So today we thought we will talk about the biggest stop to aliveness.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a big topic. It's a really big topic.
Yeah, this is a big topic.
Yeah.
And just so everyone knows, it can feel a little confronting. So breathe and stick with us.
Yeah. In my experience, it can be confronting, right? So I've been experiencing in my social life and inside of the social conversation that everybody has, right? There is always positions and opinions and point of views that are held as a truth. Which is mostly how people talk to each other.
Yeah.
But from time to time, there are people that listen.
Yes.
Which is very, very, very nice, right? But yesterday I was at lunch and a very bright man, very fascinating, an artist, asked, would you rather be happy or be right? Oh my. Everybody had something to say about it. That was all valid and all that, right?
Yes.
But at one point, this kind of question for me doesn't hold. So I intervened and I said, the question doesn't make any sense. So, of course, the conversation stops. And I explained and I said, because if you are being right, if it is at the level of ontologically right, that means your opinion, your view, your moral, your intellect is right. Somebody else is wrong. Right? Just so you now have the truth.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you think you have the truth and somebody else doesn't, then you create a division and a separatedness. And that separatedness is an illusion because the whole of life is interrelated. Right? Everything is interrelated with everything else. So if you create a division, you might experience it, but it's an illusion. Therefore, you located yourself in the world of surviving. You survive what? An illusion.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it's the absurd world of surviving. So if you write even to the point of going to war, right, then there will be death. So really being right costs you your aliveness. So there is no happiness when you're dead.
Right.
So the question didn't hold for me.
Yeah.
The conversation went dead. They looked at me and they changed the topic. So the biggest stop to aliveness is to not be willing to examine and think consciously with awareness. And that includes letting go of every single belief you have, every opinion, or you can have them, right? But not believe your beliefs. I mean, I always say to my students, you don't need to believe in the moon, right? The moon is. So to comprehend what it is to be human, you need to have no separation between the facts and you, or the truth and you. That's called comprehension. If you have divisions, compartmentalize the intellect, the history, the economy, the politics, the religion, that's not comprehension. That is intellectualization.
Yes.
Comprehension is oneness, right? In America, I remember a lot of people say, "Oh, I get it," right? It's a strange expression, but it's because those people needed to communicate that they actually became comprehension, and the fact and the truth are one. Right? But to get to that space of not having to justify, explain, prove, defend, you need to let go of so much of your belief. And the biggest belief, I think, is a belief in this vengeful God.
That's a very big one. I'm always a little surprised how big it is still. Yeah.
I am stunned.
Yeah.
That is still being taught that you better behave or else, that you better confess or else, that you better kill people that don't believe what you believe or else.
Do you think that different culture, because many cultures have that same view of God, even through different religious contexts. So do you think that that is a projection of how we are as humans onto God?
It's definitely, definitely a projection, right? If you think God is a person, well. All right. But I was thinking about that, Abby, right? And I think belief in a vengeful God might have been the answer to the experience of powerlessness in the face of the mystery of it all. So if I imagine at the beginning of time, right? Let's say there is no rain and they can't grow their crops, and somebody goes and do a dance because he saw a butterfly or she saw a butterfly, whatever, and suddenly there is rain. The mystery of the weather and not having rain and all that gets dissipated if you say the dance of this person is what brought up rain, so that person must have a direct connection to God or to the ultimate power. Therefore, if we do what this person tells us, we'll have good things. It's difficult
like placing our personal power elsewhere.
Well, as a human being, when you are stuck in the state of survival, you don't experience any power. All you have is force. It's only when you remember who you really are that power takes you over and truth takes you over. You don't have power. You don't have the truth. Truth gets you. Power gets you, right? Through you, gets expressed through you. So if you're stuck in survival, the experience is an abysmal powerlessness, truly.
Yes.
And that is, I think, what most people fight against and revolt against and try to control and try to pretend they do have power. If they behave a certain way, maybe they will get power.
That makes a lot of sense. It's almost like we're aware enough of the powerlessness that we can resist the experience of it, but we don't know how to get to true power. So we just either force our way through or I guess submit our way through, depending on what type of.
Yeah, and then there is beliefs at every single level, right? I was thinking about Jewish, Muslim, Christian, Hindu, Buddhist, whatever else, right? There is. And we don't we act like if it's the truth? Like that there is really somebody Jewish or somebody Christian?
I totally see what you mean.
I mean,
You like believe everyone's identities so much that it separates us.
well, we might even say, I know I'm not really French. I know I'm not really an American. But come on. There is a little voice inside that says to you, oh, no, you really are this culture. That's your culture.
Mm.
But it's a human construct. I'm so happy not to be a nationality.
Mm.
I just happen to be happy to be a woman in the body of a woman, right? But I totally understand people that don't like the body they have.
Mm.
They
Absolutely.
would rather be something else.
Mm.
I just happen to like women.
Yay.
Yay, yay. All right, tick. I don't have to fight this one. Yeah. So can to reach that place of bliss, right? Of nothingness, of peace, you need to let go of all your beliefs, every single one of them. You need to be willing to examine everything. It's actually a very strange place to be in.
Mm.
Because ultimately emotions disappear, feelings disappear, everything is just what is. And we are so used to have up and downs and emotions and feelings and passion, and we like to be happy and don't like being unhappy. It's like entertaining all this noise. But when you let all that go, when you let go of any belief and you totally surrender to it, is the strangest place. There really is nothing.
Wow.
And Abby, it's very funny because there is not even love. Other than nothing is love. I don't know how to explain it, right? So there is nothing. But that nothingness is love. That's the closest I can explain it.
It's like the fabric of the nothingness is love.
Because inside of that space, you love everybody, right? So I'm going to say something so difficult to say, but when somebody commits a terrible thing, like a crime or really a very difficult thing to be with, and we have a few that we could use as examples. If you look underneath, right, that person did that out of love, not love for the horrible thing they did to the people they did it to, but for love of something else that got denied or that is in danger. Right?
Somewhere along the line.
Yeah, for their religion, their nationality, their country, their family.
Your family, yeah.
Whatever it is that they got endangered, whatever they got denied, whatever they got traumatized about, right? Their love for whatever that thing is what justifies committing a horror. So when you get to that space of nothingness, you actually know that. So you love those people that committed the most horrible crime. Because you know it's just ignorance. It's just a very low level of consciousness. It's total ignorance. I see it in your face. What?
I hear in what you say as you're speaking, so many teachings from so many places through my years of spiritual training are present here in this moment, sort of congealing. And I think the space that you're speaking about is, for lack of a better word, the space that we can get to sort of heal the world.
And Abby, I was thinking also, how come I didn't get enlightened like Eckhart Tolle or Byron Katie? Or I would have loved to have like 1 second I'm human, the next second I'm the divine. I would have loved to do that. I did not. I step by step up the mountain. Just, all right. But I understand it's because I can share my journey as an ordinary human being. That just is letting go, letting go, letting go, letting go, right? And the thing I want to say about the space I'm in now is it doesn't require any effort. I thought people didn't come to disentangle their ego or do my courses too much, or the people that didn't come, because it was too much effort and they thought they didn't want to put in that effort. So I even thought that it was a little bit tough, the spiritual path. But in the space I'm in now, if it's hard and requires effort, it's not the spiritual path. It's the ego fighting to stay alive.
Wow.
Because I'm actually reaching that space of nothingness at a new depth through tenderness and joy. I had to leave the United States, leave New York, leave the noise, be in a totally beautiful place with no pressure on the sea, which for me is everything, with beautiful people, having no demand on myself. And in the quietness of the beauty and the tenderness of my life, I find this place with no emotions and no feelings. So it doesn't have to be hard. You can choose a high road. And the high road is give up your beliefs. I think it's the highest road. Anything you believe, anything, any tiniest thing, you don't need belief.
I'm remembering a story that Byron Katie spoke about after she did have her awakening and the questions found her. And she was in that space of nothingness and, no thoughts, no emotions. So she would sit with her tea and wait, just wait for a thought, just wait for one to show up. And when it came, she would question it. But she describes sometimes hours of no thinking, no thoughts, just sitting.
Yes.
And waiting for a thought to show up.
That's right. And then you have the feeling that it's not you that is thinking. So I would suddenly get up, right? During the day, I get up and I go and clean a cup or something, right? But I I don't have the feeling that I did it. So it's really a strange space. I don't know why we ended up talking about that when we started with being right. But being right and belief is very tied together. So
they are. And I think it's really powerful because something that I have learned from doing this work with you is that like we're all in the place we're in our spiritual journey for reasons unknown. I don't know. I've been in a time of learning to say like I did that and I'm choosing it and I'm in that era of my growth. And as you describe what you're describing, I can feel that too. Like I can merge a little into your world and feel that. And Katie described it the same way. And I'm sure you know that because I'm sure you've read her literature, but she calls it being breathed, being thought, being moved. And that you get to a point where you're
that is exactly the experience you are being lived.
Yeah, being lived. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
It's
and
like I'm in my life and I'm looking around saying, how come?
amazing. That's amazing. that to me really brings me to that. I know I'm jumping to different, but there's so many teachings here that but that concept of Leela in Hinduism, that God is manifested as itself to experience itself. I experience that as you're speaking. It's like you're God being lived, God being moved, God being thought, God being breathed. It's very powerful to just get like a glimpse, a window into your world, to get to feel it as you're speaking.
Abby, I so appreciate being in your space.
I so appreciate being in yours. It is mutual.
All right, everybody, we're going to let you go. Do you want to see if there is any comment, Abby, or questions?
Okay, no comments. And for those of you who watch in the future, because I know some of you do, thank you. We always read your comments. We love to see you here.
All right, much love, everybody. Have a great week.
Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful week.